Anybody that's been around bikes for a while knows we've got what's called in the patent biz a mature art. There have been a lot of people thinking really hard for a long, long time about how best to make a bicycle. And, I mean, I do that all the time. I think about different ways to make things better. Whenever you come across somebody who says, I have a new idea that's going to make a bike a lot better, you should be skeptical right off the bat. Now it's incremental improvements on stuff that's at kind of Formula One levels in the first place.
When we started D3, we were looking at the competitive landscape, and there were certainly some really exciting advancements, some new school thought of what shape should be. There were some great companies ahead of us that had set the bar pretty high. As with any carbon layup process, you'll see that it's very time-consuming. It's a lot of labor, hands-on process. It's an art form in and of itself, from the cutting to the kitting, even to the final layup. The removal of the tool in and out of the press, it's all labor intensive. When we looked at D3, we knew things were getting wider, and we knew that the rim leading edge played a big role in overall wheel aerodynamic performance, but they still were relying on depth to play a big role in aerodynamic performance, and we wanted to challenge that convention.
We've got some really good guys working there. Give them the tools they need, give them an environment where they can think and innovate, and let it happen.
One of the advantages of having in-house testing and in-house carbon development and layup is that we can iterate very fast, test it, break it, and in 24 hours we have a new course of direction that we didn't have previously. We've talked a lot about Keith's involvement in this process, and much of what you see here are solutions to Keith's questions and queries about how do we make this process better. We've modified a lot of these tests to address those things that standard tests do not reveal. What we've learned through that development is the width played a big role, and that allowed us to shorten up the depth of the rim, and that's a huge advantage for riders. Put our 50 millimeter against anybody's 60 or 70 millimeter deep rim, and you've got a really competitive performer, and then you don't have to have all that extra weight. So D3 is, I believe, the next evolution of aerodynamic performance. Throughout the process, as he's truing, the wheel is going to be subjected to a series of stressing. All of these machines and equipment are internally designed and maintained. Daily checks on all of the gauges. For example, our own homegrown designed wheel dishing tool with digital gauge. We wanted that level of precision that just didn't exist with commercially available tools, so we went out and designed our own.
That's all. I'm good.
Eating off, man. That's a long day, huh?
Yeah.
Stay in the car, you'll find your rhythm. Come on, you're almost there. Right, go bring him back, come on.
We have these athletes who are racing at the most elite level and pushing our product in terms of speed and endurance and durability. The Bontrager guys were really important for us because they allowed us immediate access. They're young and eager guys. They don't pull any punches. They'll tell you exactly what's wrong. And it was really helpful.
We've got people working in saddles now that are really good at what they do. They haven't been there that long. We're doing pressure mapping, and we're doing all these things that are really sophisticated that we'd never done on saddles before. The outcome of that is going to be some really, really good stuff because we're working from a really thorough understanding of what is happening now.
For years, saddles have been shaped by experience on the saddle, but what we can do now with these tools in biomechanical engineering is really get a full understanding of how the rider interacts with the saddle, what that means for their health and well-being. One of the advantages of working for Bontrager is that we have capabilities of designing a saddle and taking it through iteration after iteration in-house. By using these tools and technologies, we can design saddles to work with the rider to optimize their natural movement in order for them to sustain higher performance on the bicycle.
We learn a lot from what's being done on the bike side in terms of aerodynamics. We're able to actually use a lot of that data and leverage that into the aftermarket side. We're able to predict how a helmet is going to perform in the lab, and we can make quick iterations and changes with our own engineers as opposed to having to contract that out. And we just feel like it keeps us nimble. We set a high standard for ourselves. It's a labor of love for all of us. I mean, I think people who are in this industry understand that it's more than just a job. It has everything to do with who you are.
Sometimes the business guys say, you spent all that time doing that, why? It's like, well, because it's going to make something last a lot longer or much easier to work on. You know, if you've done something that's improving the part, it's improving the part. And I still get off on that. It's good.